What's going on, guys? Welcome to another live stream session with Phrankleen. If you can hear me, you can see me, smash the like button. Welcome to Say It Like It Is. If this is your first time, thank you for stopping by. Let's see who is online. If you're watching me for the first time, this is Say It Like It Is. It's basically a segment where we share stories. It could be personal to you, where I make you anonymous. It could be trending topics, you dig. So if you can hear me, you can see me, smash the like button. All right. What's going on, people? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Luajuan. What's going on, everybody? Good morning. So I'm streaming on my laptop, so can't be bothered to set up the camera and all that stuff. Feel a little tired today. What's up, man? So what's going on, people? So this story, right? Smash the like button, smash the like button. This story, this one is gonna get a little dark, okay? Hi Phrankleen, please respond to my email. Austin, just forward the email to me again. Go into your sent folder and just forward it to me, okay? Apologies, I'm not ignoring you. Just going through, a lot of piles of emails and stuff. But I'll definitely respond to you. Now, so the story, okay, came from one of my viewers, how I became a sacrificial lamb for my parents' accumulation of wealth. To cut the chase, this one is basically quite spiritual, all right? So if you're not inclined in that regard, maybe it's not for you. Now, as Africans, we are very spiritual people, all right? Unfortunately, a lot of our folks are blind to that fact, and most people, just like I grew up, are trapped in religiosity. They don't even understand their essence, who they are. They don't have a thorough understanding of their being, themselves, and things like that. Most people just wade through the waters of life, and you become adults. You're faced with truckload of challenges. I've been there. I have my own battles in life, and sometimes you question yourself. Am I not trying enough? Am I not doing enough? What's going on? Roadblocks here, roadblocks there. And one of the funny things is, it's not about the number of qualifications you've acquired over time. You realize that as you wade through the waters of life, you're trying to achieve even the tiniest of goals. It becomes really challenging. It becomes really difficult. Uphill battle 24/7. In Yoruba language, and it's like everywhere you turn to, it's just really difficult. Even relationships, Justina Rogers. Thank you, Justina. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm going somewhere with this. But these person said parents gave birth to four of them. Okay, she's one out of four. She's got three other siblings, and grew up a bit in Nigeria, and then eventually, she, as a very young lady, mom and dad brought her to the UK. She lived with several people that she wasn't familiar with. Childhood was very rough. there was a case of abandonment, but for most people that came from Africa, there's always this idea of if they bring you here, or you are in an unpalatable situation, or you're meant to be grateful because they brought you to the West and all that. So this lady had a really rough time growing up within the system, living with people that are not her parents, and that she's not used to and stuff like that. And she's regards herself as being smart, and went to university, but all sorts of challenges and all that through life. The simplest of goals became really tough, and she was unable to keep jobs. She would get into an employment, something mysterious would happen. She would lose the job within months. She would be flushed out. There's always conspiracy against her, connivance, and she's unable to plan around her finances. There's always this constant depletion of savings. Or walking, but where? It's like a case of amubo. Like it's like trying to. Her life is like trying to get hold of a life. It's like trying to catch a fish, a live fish, with bare hands. You understand? So the same thing, quite similar to a younger sibling, the one before her. And he said an engineering graduate, also lived here in the UK, but life just got absolutely complex. And he joined her in the UK years after, and it's not been smooth sailing. They both have master's degree, and just at every turn in life, at every point, it's like this truckload of just failure, roadblocks, and challenges. And life was just presenting them with this constant bowl of complexity, rejection, and other people don't have to do too much to achieve certain things. For them, it's like going up Mount Everest without any pair of shoes on. And yeah, so the long and short is, over time, and the reason, let me give you a quick background. The reason this lady sent me this story, these came in last night, was because a couple of days or a few days ago, I talked about Ifa, because I talk about Ifa a lot. For those watching me for the first time, I'm a proud practitioner of Ifa. I'm initiated to that to that order, sorry. I've gone through the full Ifa initiation, Itefa. Now, so that prompted her to share her story, right? And there's been some of you watching me, people have emailed me and paid for Ifa divination and all that. All of that is going on. So this lady then decided to share her story. Everything about her collapsed, roadblock, even getting relationship, finding a life partner. She said, Phrankleen, I was just leaving, I was trapped. I just can't make anything tangible of my life. I'm unable to save money. I'm just working. It's like being in a tumble dryer. My life was just chaotic. The same thing with her brother. So eventually, she met someone that pointed her in the direction of Ifa, right? So she snuck out of the UK, didn't tell the parents back home that she was coming to Nigeria. She went for Ifa divination and all that, Oloda Ifa. And then things started unraveling at that point. And the long and short was, herself and her brother found out that right from when they were toddlers, their parents had used them spiritually. So I'll say it in Yoruba, Babati Yawanti Lo Aisiki. So they had used their, how do I put it for those that don't understand Yoruba? So, when I talk about your universal data set, what your Ori has called you to do in this dispensation, right? Right. So there is this uniqueness of the blessings that the universe has assigned to your person in terms of how you should flourish, your glory, if I can use that word. So now, when people unscrupulously look into your universal data set, who you are in this dispensation, it's absolutely possible for people to unscrupulously circumvent your glory. And I'm talking in spiritual terms now. So, they can bend your journey in life. They can particularly rob you of time and distort the default setting of your journey in life and leave you pretty much in emptiness and just leave you to decay and waste away. Sometimes some of these people in the worst cases might die untimely, find themselves in predicaments that will waste their youth and their prime, and they will just wither like autumn leaves. Now, this lady was able to uncover that their parents had used their glory until low go on right from when they were both toddlers, like when they were both young. So they used them as ladders. Now, she said mom and dad were filthily rich. They got multiple businesses back in Nigeria. They've got assets, they got homes, lands, they got investments and all that. But the lady said a particular observation is, like when you know your parents are wealthy and all that stuff. And but you exist on the edge of things. You can see the wealth, but you're not exactly immersed in the wealth. So they just give you crumbs. And I'm not talking about oh um being dependent on your parents for survival or something like that. I'm talking about how these there is something spiritual to it, that when they've used your glory to propel themselves, they've done that unscrupulously. You then cannot be a beneficiary of that glory, because it's counterproductive, if that makes sense. Thank you. Somebody said since the glory was used, they would not allow them to partake in it. Thank you, Blossom D. John. So it's counterproductive. Want to low go, want to buy. So if they were to then use that ill-gotten wealth, spend it on you, it's counterproductive. They may die abruptly. Some of that crazy stuff would happen to them. That wealth may disappear. You get it? So she said, well, because I'm not going to name a particular fraternity. I'm not going to name a particular fraternity. I'm not going to do that. But the parents belong in a prominent fraternity within the Yoruba side of Nigeria, a prominent fraternity. And they had moved up in ranks. So, the lady said anytime her brother tries to challenge, particularly their father, said they've had heated arguments where things have gotten piping hot, that the dad would make death threats, that if you dare to look at me in the face, I would like obliterate you, type of thing, and they were able to then observe, and they knew that, they know that their pops and mom belong in the fraternity. So anyway, Ifa was able to uncover the fact that within the confines of the said fraternity, the rituals were carried out where they unscrupulously used their parents, their children's, glory, one logo on their universal data set, to propel themselves. These happen all the time. So some of you might even be listening to me. Some very heartless humans will tell you things like ategunlaye, which are people that they don't care who they use as a ladder to get to the next level in life. And some of the unscrupulous ways that they do that is to tamper with you spiritually. If you're blind or you're naked, they will do that. All right. Now, the through the Ifa divination and subsequent um, sacrifices, and in alignment with their Ifa priest, who was genuine and honest with them. They went through quite a lot, and she shared that phone. They were able to reverse it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy because the lady went through all sorts. She was involved in two ghastly accidents um, that nearly claimed her life, and her brother also abruptly became really ill. These illness became life threatening, and all that. But in the end, they scaled through. So the lady said to me, Phrankleen, I'm at a point where I'm picking up the pieces of my life. They've completely cut off the parents. There's been a truckload of spiritual bombardment. In fact, at the pinnacle of these back and forth, there was death threats and all that stuff. We're going to do this, like they became really wild. And what tends to happen is when evil deeds get reversed, they don't just get reversed. Thank you, Akim Model. Thank you for the super chat. Evil deeds don't just get reversed. There's always a major sledgehammer strike in the realms against the perpetrators. In this case, their parents, Oma Molara. And these people that belong in this certain occult, they don't let go. They have these dictatorial pattern of behavior, and whatever they get their claws into, they must absolutely break and destroy. So the idea of compassion is not in their dictionary, or empathy, or oh, this is my child, oh, this is unheard of, this is unethical. Nope. They wouldn't stop until they've absolutely obliterated their targets. So thankfully, the lady said, I'm picking up pieces of my life. My brother is also doing well. The two other siblings have unfortunately been dragged into the so-called frats that their parents belong in. So they took sides with the parents whilst the warfare was going on. You dig? So that's the long and short. They were able to uncover the fact that their parents were involved in spiritual is a circumvention of their universal callings and all that stuff. And thanks to Ifa and the backing of a honest Ifa priest, they are doing well. They're making good recoveries. Now, check this out. I'm going to share my views with you. Life, from the point of view of we as Africans, right, looking through the lens, can be really, really complex, and layers of complexity. This is why when I talk about it's absolutely important for you to be spiritually activated. Religiosity wouldn't do it for you. There are plenty of people. Let's look at it from the point of view of life in the diaspora, for example. It's not unique to being in the diaspora, but I just use that as a prime example. There are plenty of people. You might have left Nigeria, it could be Ghana, wherever. You came to the diaspora, UK, US, in search of greener pasture, right? Your families, the spiritual battle that emanates from within your one's family tree is the worst of all battles in life. And why is that? Because they are your family. They knew you right from the time of birth. They pretty much know everything about you. Right from the time of conception, actually. You were up until when you came into human existence. They watch you grow up. So those that are spiritually unscrupulous within the family tree, most African families, they put a marker on you. They have their third eye activated. They would have seen that you're called into this dispensation. They can see that you're destined to make, you're going to prosper. So what they do is they'll put a marker. They set out to distort, to put obstacles, to distort your pathway in life. Okay? Some of you might not appreciate what I'm saying, but those that understand, they get it. And that's why, like I was saying, it's very possible for you to grow up in this dispensation, in this planet, and go through life and amount to nothing, lack fulfillment. There are plenty of people like that. Someone might be listening to me now. You might be that person who is working. You're working somewhere now. It's like a rat race. You're in like a tumble dryer. You're working in an organization. You're earning this menial paycheck. You're going through each day. You're really suffering. You're not leaving. You're not enjoying life. And it might be that your universal calling is you're meant to be a boss that actually run businesses, empires, organizations. You're meant to create jobs for other people. But how can you get your fulfillment? How can you get to that pinnacle in your life when spiritually you've been tampered with? And one of the worst things that can happen is a lot of these spiritual attacks. Some of you, one of the worst things, they emanate from the parents. They emanate from within the family. In fact, the layers of complexity is the same parents will be the ones running from pillar to post, that they are helping you look for remedies. But behind the scenes, they are the ones behind it. Some of you have mothers. Some of you have mothers who, you see, what I'm talking about tonight is quite heavy. It's very heavy. You're not going to find anyone on YouTube talk about stuff like this, but I'm quite confident that I have the backing of the universe. I'm just trying to wake somebody up. Some of you, your mothers belong. They fly the clouds, if that makes sense. So they conceived you. They carried you for 9 months. They've already donated you. Their job is to ensure that you amount to nothing. The same mother will be running from pillar to post with Oscar level performance, displaying that she cares so much. She's concerned that her son or her daughter is not doing well, but they're the ones behind it. Until you align with your Ori, until you get spiritually activated and you grab the bulls by the horns, you will never amount to anything. And these people, they don't stop there. So when they target you, they target the bloodline. So if you're struggling as an entity, CC Richards, thank you for the super chat. If you're struggling and you cannot make anything of your own life, they will ensure that your offsprings amount to nothing. And if your offsprings get to procreate, their children amount to nothing. It's very deep. It's very, very deep. So I was talking about diaspora earlier. There are plenty of people, just from the diaspora standpoint. That's why people will live abroad 15 years. 20 years. Before you took off in Africa, before you stepped your foot on the plane, they've already nailed you to ensure that as you land in the UK, as you land in the US, you will spend the best part of your years toiling, running from pillar to post, and you would never amount to nothing. Wani bó ṣe lọ ló ṣe máa padà. I kid you not, man. Bó ṣe lọ ló ṣe máa padà. Some of them, there are parents, there are family members that would ensure that you face rigorous immigration settling complexities in your location so that you can be a means of survival for them monetarily. Whilst people can orchestrate things just by taking advantage, they know you can't come home, you haven't got papers and all that, but they take it steps further to make sure that every step you are taking in that environment to adjust your immigration papers, to find balance, you're met with roadblock. Oh, nípa di ara aláàánú, àmì ìkórìíra máa máa tẹ̀lé ẹ kiri. There'll be roadblocks whilst they use you for monetary elevation. There are parents that would ensure that their own children, they're trapped in whatever location. As long as you're working like a tumble dryer and there is monetary benefit, they use you as a springboard to enrich themselves, maybe your other siblings, and to ensure that you're trapped ultimately. And before you know it, you spend 5 years, you spend 10, you spend 15, 16, 17, 20 years abroad. Absolutely nothing to show for it. You think it's normal? There are plenty of people, man. And a lot of people might have several stories unique to them. But there is one thing. When you trace it back, the root cause of a bulk of these problems, 99% of the times, they emanate from within your family tree. It's even worse. It's the worst if your parents are behind it. Ẹlòmíì wà, ìyá tó bí ẹ ló dé bàbá ẹ má golo. Ìyá tó bí ẹ ló dé ẹ má golo. That's why some people, you advance, you try to settle down, marry a wife or marry a husband and all that. It's your mother behind it. What daily? You will never know peace. So why am I talking about this? Spiritual fortification. If you're not fortified, there are plenty of people that live abroad that, okay, say for example, you live abroad and you've been abroad for what? 15 years, 17 years, 20 years. You are pretty much living in the shadows of the system. You're trapped. Iwájú ò ṣeé lọ, ẹ̀yìn ò ṣeé padà sí. There are plenty of people, man. Some of you are probably watching me now. I don't know who you are. You're living in agony. You're depressed. You can't pack your bags to go home. This is why I've said it before. That, when I talk about divination, Lodaifa, how can you live in the UK for 18 years? There are no papers. You're trapped. You're living in the shadow of the system. And you're telling me that's a life of fulfillment? No, it's not. Some of you are remote controlled spiritually, like that. It would ensure that 20 years of your youth, whilst your bones are still strong, they are absolutely wasted. Some people might be lucky enough, the universe comes together for them, and by the time they start finding their bearings and all that stuff, they're already in their 50s, they're in the evening part of their lives. Some people may never find a way out. They would die in their predicament. Look very well. There's somebody listening. Look very well. Look at the root cause. Take a step back, zoom out. If you're dealing with the truckload of complexities, look very well. Investigate. I'm talking spiritually now. Most of these problems emanate from within family units. Yeah, except you've experienced it, it seems far-fetched. Those that are they suffer from judgmental poverty when it comes to spiritual stuff. They might be like, oh, well, come on, man, this is absolute nonsense. But please, man, they try to use their six senses to they try to use their six senses to judge and analyze. Oh, please, I don't believe in that, man. Ogun ìdílé ló le jù. Families are the deadliest. Some of you, you have accumulations of multiple qualifications, degrees, first degrees, master's degree, PhD, these professional qualifications, Prince 2, Agile, Scrum, blah, de, blah, de, blah, and nothing to show for it. You are bloody brilliant. If you pick a book tonight, you can glean up everything in the book. You sit in the exam hall tomorrow, you smash the best grades, and you're trying to get a job so that you can save, so that you can use that money to build investment portfolio. The cycle of life, activities that will follow will ensure that your funds are in fact absolutely depleted. There are some people, there is just something about them. They're unable to keep a job for within few months. The job is gone. They can't save, they can't plan, they cannot invest. It's intentional. Sometimes when you're tampered with spiritually, that's why you navigate through life. Because see, what these evil charlatans, what they do is when they distort your journey in life, it's to ensure they rob you of time, they absolutely destroy your life. In Yoruba, they would ensure that your pathway takes a banana shape, right? You basically you would be distorted away from your actual universal um, calling, or the pathway that you're meant to go through in life, and that involves picking the wrong partner, making ugly decisions that will cost a chunk of your life you may never be able to recover from. Do you know what it means to be given birth to by parents and then the parents set out to destroy you? Um, they've actually tampered with you spiritually from when you were born. They've used you as a springboard, financial springboard. They've used you for social climb. Káwọn lè jẹ́ èèyàn láyé. Wọ́n ti lo àìsíkí ẹ̀, wọ́n ti lo ògo ẹ̀, ìyá tó bí ẹ sáyé. But you see, when you take a step back, when you look at things critically, without sentiments, I always say, because we're blinded by sentiments. Oh, it's my mom. Oh, she can't do that. Oh, it's my dad. Oh, he can never do that. You're forgetting one thing. Before the dad and mom labeling, they are first of all what? Humans like you. We keep forgetting that fact. They're humans. meaning they are capable of both good and bad. There are some parents. I'm telling you what happens. We're Africans, so some of you may not know this. Maybe you grew up in the diaspora. You're thinking, "Oh, this is some crazy conversation Phrankleen is having tonight." I want me what? I want be me what? There's some parents. O ma gba ICK ọmọ kan fún kan. Their parents that they got these two children that they gave birth to, they would distort the glory of this one. They would take it and give it to this one. And it's usually because this one, the other one that they've robbed has a fighting spirit that wouldn't absorb anything negative that they're trying to do with that child. And then they will tamper with that child in that regard and give it to the other one that they perceive to be soft, that they can control for selfish benefits. It's for their own benefit. There are plenty of people like that. Some of you might even have siblings. You're looking at it like, we both grew up. I'm educated, he's educated. They have a smooth sailing, you don't. Sometimes, I'm not saying it's the case all the time, you have been the one tampered with within your family tree. That's right. So what I've discovered in my own journey is, if you look in our society, there are plenty of people. It's very easy to target people and destroy people because plenty of people are spiritually naked. I'm telling you, man, Ifa opened my eyes to the true workings of this universe. In fact, in Africa, we put out more wickedness than goodness amongst ourselves. People can't bear to see you climb. Even parents become jealous of their own offsprings. So how much more siblings and cousins and all that? Even partners in relationships. I'm telling you, man, spiritual fortification is the way forward. It is the way forward. Even in these dispensation, I digress, living in the West, with all the daily microaggression, the racism, the roadblocks, the discrimination, the ill treatments, a lot of all the white folks that you deal with, particularly the ones in high places that occupy top governmental positions, they belong in frats. They belong in frats. They work with dark energies. They can touch you spiritually. The misconception amongst black folks is you think, oh, white people are gullible, they don't know anything about. You're joking. You walk into certain rooms, certain environments, and certain persons are sitting across a desk and they can already see your energy. A lot of these people that belong in frats, man, they operate with dark energies. They operate with dark energies. That's why you've got to be spiritually fortified. You trust me. The funniest thing is there's this very funny misconception amongst a lot of black folks. I hear Nigerians, people talk, oh, man, you're joking. White folks know more about the powers governing the universe. They know more about African spirituality than a lot of black folks. They don't wear it on their forehead because it's actually important for the powers that be. It's important for them, for you to remain blind so they can be suppressive. And yeah, one of the reasons a lot of black men are killed off, incarcerated, suppressed, beaten down, roadblock, women suppressed, is they can see there's actually in a wider context, there's an agenda to ensure zero prosperity to the black race. Trust me. Some of these people, you walk into offices here in the UK or wherever you live, some of these folks, you walk inside an environment, it could be a coffee shop, they look at you different. Some of them avoid you. They know. Some of you work in offices with people that you don't know. They're just work colleagues. Somebody goes round the corner into a kitchen and they tell, oh, would you like a cup of tea, please? How many sugars do you want? Can I make you a cup of tea? Can I make you a cup of coffee? They go round the corner into another room to make you drinks that go into your system. And then in the name of trying to be validated, be seen as being a team player amongst friends, you let people that you don't know anything about make drinks that go into your body, and then they bring it to your desk. You drink. Do you get? Thank you, Jane, for the super chat. Some of you don't know. So the powers can be oppressive, possessive, suppressive to get others falling into depressive bouts. Of course. Elomiwa. Yeah. Oh, hi, Jane. Oh, yeah, can you make me a cup of tea, please? Oh, thank you. Somebody goes in the office, they go pour your drink. Really? There's a lot going on, man. So if you're not fortified, sometimes you see one of the main things about these spiritual issues is things you're meant to achieve within a year. I've been there, man. Maybe you have a particular goal, something you're meant to achieve within 1 year. They can throw spina in the works and put a major roadblock in front of you, and it can take you 5 years, or you may never achieve it. When something take you longer than it should have, what do you think has happened? They've robbed you of time. Do you understand? They've robbed you of time. Sometimes limit people's access to you. Not all family members you pick their call. Bad news calls, especially, can drain your spiritual energy. Of course. That's the message tonight. Spiritual fortification. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. There are people that just wading through the waters of life. There are plenty of people, man. There are plenty of people. Look at your life. I don't know your life. I don't know you except you tell me something. Like there's no fulfillment. Ajalu. Everything about you just chaotic, difficult, challenges, left, right. They wouldn't allow you. They'll have you on the lockdown. Don't dare plead in the blood of Jesus. You're joking, man. Sometimes it's hard to spot toxic people. It's not. When you are alert yourself, when you're spiritually activated, yeah, you would know. Arama sort of when you would know. Oh, you will. You will. Yeah, that's right. I like that. When they can't penetrate you, then they turn everyone against you. Yeah, yeah. They try to ostracize you. That's right. My people, my people. You're right. Absolutely. So, as those who are not into Ifa, what do we do? Oh, it's up to you. Um, if I talk about Ifa, Ifa doesn't teach us to, force Ifa down anyone's lungs. I'll always speak good of Ifa because it's the way of life for me. But I can't tell you anything outside that. See, yeah, for if I have you as an individual around me, or I've got dealings with you, and something hits my spirit, or I was going to go into dealings or something with you, and something hits my spirit about you, I can take it before Ifa, and trust me, there's nothing hidden. If I will uncover your intentions, even you don't have to tell me. If you are around me because you're trying to snoop into my life and maybe gather data for you're working in connivance with some people in the background so you can do something to me. But whilst you're pretending in the front end to be my friend, if I'm at two actually, you follow them up by down. Trust me. Justina is asking you to support the show. Support the show, guys. Smash the like button. Show your love, man. Do you understand? Spiritual fortification is crucial, man. There are plenty of people that have sent me emails that share their story with me. And, you see, there was a gentleman the other day, he's 52, man. And his life abroad has been chaotic, nothing to show for it. Finances depleted. He's not as young as before. He's been robbed of a lot of things he's trying to achieve back home. Yeah. And you think you're not going to, you know, check. This is what I talk about, even spousal compatibility. Let me say this. Some of you men, the women that you call your wife, there are some women, they fly the clouds, if you understand what I'm saying. Ajayola says, Frank Conero, I'm now fortified. Motidi Egungun CIA Wicked World Law. Thank you for the super chat. The woman you procreated with, that you call your wife, that you've had multiple children with, spiritually, she's a bad energy. She flies the skies, if you know exactly what I mean. So báwo ló ṣe fẹ́ gbórí sókè? Báwo ló ṣe lè láyé tiẹ̀ ti ta? She's in charge of your downfall until you die. She wouldn't let go. When I say she flies the skies, come on, man, that's a figure of speech. Do you understand? You should know what I'm saying. How do you know the good Ifa, not the fake ones? You mean like a good Ifa priest, right? Send me an email, battle man. Do you understand what I'm saying? And vice versa. There are women, you met a man, you fell in love with him, whatever situation, you bust your legs wide open, you had multiple children. Your so-called husband, the man that you had children with, He might have come from a bloodline where they belong in very dark fraternities and they operate with dark energies. Your husband might have come from a background where they use people's glory, they use people's universal data set. Orí ẹ ló ń lò, ògo ẹ ló ń lò láti máa fi ṣara ní dín. Thank you, Oluwajuwon. Thank you for the super chat. Do you understand? So as long as you remain around such energies, they would cap you, they will clamp you down until they drain every last ounce of whatever glory you've got, and then they dispose of you. Mine was my mom, until I found out spiritually she's dead now, but successfully told my brothers I killed her, all because I didn't allow her change my destiny for my junior brother. My man, you didn't allow her change your destiny of a go for your sibling. I said it earlier. Thank you for that little snippet, man. That's exactly what I'm banging on about, man. A lot is going on in the African community. They particularly come out of the family trees, you know. And the thing is, here's another thing. Some of them, some of your parents, right? They intentionally raised you the way they raised you. What do I mean? They belong in occults. They have these dark energies, right? They have used your glory. So they will raise you. They keep you in the confines of some religiosity. I don't want to name a particular religion, so I don't piss off I don't care, but tonight's not the night to piss off the religiously inclined people here. So they will make sure that you are absolutely blind to Isheshe, African spirituality, Ifa. And in fact, they've conditioned you from childhood to see African spirituality as being fetish, something you never go towards, right? But they go to the dark side of the so-called spirituality, right? They circumvent people's glories for their own monetary benefits, unscrupulous benefits. Do you understand what I'm saying? So they would have ensured that they've drained you. You dig? So how can you then, you're chained. You've already been conditioned. You've gone through your formative years. So that's why a lot of people are encapsulated in these spiritual problems. Because you are already, it's like a default setting. You are conditioned. Holy. In fact, you will be fighting people that there is nothing wrong with me. Do you understand? It's intentional. You scoffed at the blood of Jesus. Why do you think it's not good enough? Well, I can tell you confidently it's not good enough. I'm a spiritual person. I'm not a religious person. The idea of Christianity, if you want to go in that direction, I was respectfully speaking, it was sold to you by your oppressors. Fact. It's one of the deadliest weapons in Africa that they've used to chain down the best of minds and destroyed lives. That's fact. But you don't have to accept it. Okay? I was born and bred with Christianity. I grew up in it. I know the A to Z of it, and I know what it's about. Okay? You don't have to accept it, but that's that. If you're not, if we're not into Ifa, you're saying no way out. No, I will. I can't say to you no way out. I can only tell you what I know about. So if you're dealing with something now, you're telling me, right? I'm not going to talk to you about Christianity or Islam or anything else. I know now that if I was talking to you as a friend or an individual and there's X problem, like I cannot die finally. What's the Ifa divination? That's the beginning of it. Let's break it down. There's no gimmicks, there's no corner, there's no emotional acrobatics and all these singing praises. Bro, let's uncover this. Let's uncover this. We're going to break it down. We will get to the bottom of why is this happening to Lagbaja and Malagbaja. Okay, we've identified the problem. What's amazing about a problem is you identify the source of it. You understand? You're 50% way through to finding remedy. If I would tell you the way out, believe that, man. Think about it. You're running through the race of life. You have a truckload of challenges as an adult. You're dealing with X, Y, Z. If the foundation of your life has been defective from the time you came into human existence, that's the core of your problem. So there's no point trying to sugarcoat or do plastering work and try to fix the pillars. You're joking. The foundation of your life, let's go into there. That's where the problem lies. It's a spiritual issue. And when we say spiritual issue, I'm not coming at you with all these people just brandishing words and you need deliverance. That's nonsense. Yeah, the concept of Ori can only be found in Ifa, not in Christianity. Absolutely. Let me respond to that. Omalara says, but a lot of these people doing Ishashi are too evil in their doings. Evil in what regard? Now, let me let me let me let me explain something. Let me clarify something. Ishashi, African spirituality, yeah. Under that umbrella of Ishashi is practicing African spirituality, yeah. Under Ishashi, you have Ifa, yeah. So what I mean is, you'll be amazed if you truly, if you're a genuine being the objective word, practitioner of Ifa, you would know that there will be some things you find in African spirituality. It's not Ifa. Just like you say, if you have 5 Babalawos here, you say, oh, these are Babalawos. Yeah. There's some Babalawos. They do exactly, they're identical to what an Ifa priest, Babalawo, but a Babalawo who is a pure practitioner of Ifa, they wouldn't do this. I will leave you with this. One of the worst things that happen to a lot of people, why you have a lot of unscrupulous people within Isheshe, why they take advantage of vulnerable people, unsuspecting members of the public who are looking for remedies. Most Babalawos, they belong in certain fraternities. I'm intentionally not naming a particular fraternity. So if I've not mentioned the name of any fraternity, you can't put it in my mouth. So most of them belong in certain fraternities. So when you have a spiritual problem, you go to these Babalawos, you don't know this, right? So on my die Ifa, they do Ifa divination. And they realize it's got the hands of these mothers of the night, those ones that fly the clouds, right? These Babalawos that belong in this particular fraternity, they are usually in cahoots. They're in cahoots. They're in connivance. They work in connivance with those mothers flying in the skies. You understand? So what it means is, whilst they are Babalawos and the divine, want to do so because they work in connivance, from that point, they'll become dubious. They'll tell you, oh, we're going to do this 822. We're going to, we're going to do this sacrifice. We're going to put this forward. We're going to venerate this energy and that energy. they would tell you, they will identify the problem, but will they be able to remove the problem? They won't. They will tell you, let's appease these energy. Oh, let's venerate issue. Oh, let's do appeasement in this and this. They would lie to you. They will extort you. They will take your money. You know why? Because they are partners with those ones that fly the skies. So they can't undo their work. Does that make sense? That's why some people will say, hey, I've gone to these people. They told us it was XYZ that's involved. They this. They told me they took money for this. The thing is, they will not undo the work of those people that have a marker on you spiritually, because they work together. Does that make sense? A genuine Ifa priest that does not belong in that fraternity is who you need. That's hard to find. Does that make sense? So a genuine Ifa priest that does not belong in that particular fraternity that I'm referring to, Laye, Toba Daifa, and they see what you're dealing with, and they can see that these mothers of the night or this whatever they have a hand dipped their claws into your issues. You know what they would do? They would take the matter before issue. Before issue. Whatever Ifa says in terms of appeasement, they will go hard for you. And they will break the chain. So he share it today. He jade ni one she. Do you understand? They will, even the master that means appeasement for the elders. You know what I mean by the elders, right? Elders in the clouds. Now, they will put it forward, but in accordance with the practice of Ifa, they are telling them to hands off. So if they don't hand off, the Ifa priest can switch up the game or the battle now and go before issue and do whatever appeasement and break that hold. But the other ones, like somebody said here, conflict of interest. This is like a fundamental problem, because there are plenty of those custodians of the secrets of the universe that are in fact dubious. They belong in those fraternities, and they work in cahoots. They work in connivance. So they will see it. Oh, they will tell you, but they will not undo the work. They will tell you that they have done it or they are going to do it, but they won't. Sometimes some of them are so evil that they will compound your problem. Somebody said, why would Ifa continue to show these people when they don't have clean hands? Who are you talking to? Who are you talking about? Sorry, Olamide. Yeah. It's like going against the clan. Thank you. I love that. So that's exactly how it works. And when they say, Ifa let me, Ifa sorodayo, Ifa atoni eniti osuwashi. Ifa is not the problem. Ifa will uncover anything. Anything you're curious about, spousal compatibility, whatever personal challenges, your personal life, whatever you're dealing with, Ifa will uncover. The problems that people are faced with are the unscrupulous persons, mediums between you and the universe. Because if I'm a trained Ifa priest and I divine for you, Ifa will give me the relevant answer to your concerns. Now, if I have unscrupulous intentions, right? If I have unscrupulous intentions, then I start to bend the narrative or perhaps mislead, lie to you, and start telling you the things that Ifa didn't say. So it's the same thing that we see. I'll give you an example. In Nigeria, there are some obas sitting on thrones that they don't belong to. Why? When the divine, if I would say this individual should be the next king, but when dubious people with money and dark energies and power, when they hijack the process, they bring in their own person, install them on the throne, because when they put their own dodgy person, that person would work in their favor and make them money and help them to gain unlawful access to lands and so many other things. So they will circumvent and sidestep the individual that the Ifa oracle picked. Do you understand? So Ifa is not the problem. The problem is the mediums, humans, who turn out to be dubious, who turn out to be unscrupulous, if that makes sense. Oh, why would Ifa will? Because if a trained Babalawo, right, they are also spiritually activated. They would see, because they would seize for them to then convey that information. It's like saying you go to a medical doctor, right? So, and there is a problem with your heart, or let's say your arm or your bone, and the doctor cuts you open, or they're looking into your blood sample and things like that. So it's like saying, oh, because this doctor is a dodgy doctor, why would my blood function as it should naturally for him to see what the problem is? You understand? Things will function as they should, but the doctor is dubious, maybe by deliberately misinterpreting your blood results or things like that, or deciding to inject you with the wrong medication in a bid to kill you off. Do you see what I'm saying? The reason he was able to diagnose and look into your blood in the first instance is he was thoroughly trained as a doctor. He's got the knowledge, but he has then become dubious. He's then using that power and knowledge unscrupulously. Does that make sense? He has exactly the same knowledge as the good doctor, who would look at you and say, oh, okay, I can see this and this in your blood. We're going to do this and this and this. But the dodgy doctor takes the same information and decides to be bent. If I were allowed, just, my God, give us free range to make our own choices. So, yeah. Thank you very much. That's me done. What murder does affect? I'm looking at some of your comments here. Miracles, the same nonsense they used to fool people in Christianity. I forgot they went to see Saint Babylon and then go to church to use it. Absolutely. A lot of those pastors in churches, they go to, they turn to African spirituality to fortify themselves. They then take the fortification and the knowledge, they take it to their own environment known as church or mosque, and then they use it to fool the unsuspecting members of the public. And mostly, why do they do that? To siphon funds. I say all the time. A lot of them, they are pastors that you don't even know. They have their own ifa in the background. They are fortified by African spirituality. Trust me. So yeah, that's that. You can send me an email for channel1960@gmail.com. That's my email scrolling below. If you got a question and about, you want to get divination done, or you want to ask me questions, just let me know. All right, that's me done. Thank you for lending me your eyeballs and eardrums. It's been a pleasure. I said this one is a bit different tonight, but it's important, man. Wake up, man. Activate your spirituality. This is why I say to people, for those in the West, if you realize that your life is there's a roadblock and all that, fam, do something, man. God, this sort of way. Are you even meant to be in the West? Are you even meant to be with that person? If you're contemplating on getting married, you're dating this person, do spousal checks, do compatibility checks, so that you don't make choices that will sabotage you down the line. That's all I'm saying. My name is Phrankleen. It's been an absolute pleasure. Peace. Bye for now.